Hey everybody, today I'm going to teach you how to make a really cool prop for your next D&D session. This is going to be an ancient piece of parchment. Maybe they find it in the saddlebag of a messenger they kill. Maybe they're rifling through a trunk somewhere and they find this. Anyways, no one in the party can read the alphabet that it's written in. And so you plop this in front of your players and they're going to love it. They'll be intrigued. Later on, it's up to you how they end up translating it. Maybe they need to get into a library somewhere and get past the wizards that are guarding the library to find a tome that they can use to translate it. Maybe, I don't know, it's up to you, but however you do it, I would later on give them a key and let them translate it themselves, because players love that kind of interactive thing. As you can see here, I used the Armenian alphabet for mine, and a modified version of the Armenian alphabet, just because I think it's a really cool, elegant-looking, mysterious-looking alphabet. But later on, we'll talk about how to choose which alphabet to write it in, or how to make up your own alphabet. And I guess you don't really need to use this for D&D. You could use it for anything. I guess like if you're doing a Lord of the Rings themed baby shower, so I don't know. Has many uses, but all right, let's get started. Preheat your oven to about 300 Fahrenheit or 150 Celsius, not too hot. Now mix yourself up a cup of coffee or of coffee replacement, barley coffee, that kind of thing. Whatever it is, just the darker the better. Just brew it up, and while you're brewing that, go get a piece of printer paper and a pan. You can see that I've used this pan quite a bit for this. So you can crumple up the paper if you want. You don't have to, but it makes it look more rugged. I like to. Now just pour it on there and let it soak for about 10 minutes. Make sure the whole paper's covered on both sides and let it soak. Just leave it there for a while. I like to turn it and move it around every once in a while just to make sure it's totally soaked. Be really careful though. When it's this wet, it'll tear very easily. In fact, I think I just tore it. Oops, well. Now drain the liquid, be careful because it tears very easily. Now get some of that same powder and sprinkle it on there unevenly. This will give it some dark spots and make it look more like parchment. Now just throw that bad boy in the oven. About every 2 minutes or so, I'm going to take it out and turn it, really careful not to tear it, just to make sure that it dries out evenly on both sides and that it's not burning. Here you can see what will happen if you're not fast enough. It'll stick to it, so make sure you turn it pretty often. Stay on top of that. Let it dry out completely. Now that we have our parchment, let's talk about making an alphabet. If you don't want to go with an existing alphabet and you want to make your own and get creative, here's some ideas. Come to Microsoft Word and do Insert Symbols, and here you have a ton of crazy symbols that you can use for inspiration. There's the Latin extended, which is just regular Latin letters with extra things on top and below them, or you can even go up through the menu. There's lots of different types of alphabets that you can go through, right? So here you can go down to Greek and Coptic, or Cyrillic, or Hebrew, Arabic, Armenian, really anything. Take inspiration from all of these, modify them however you want, and just go crazy with it. The important thing to do is, though, to keep track of your alphabet, right? So keep a key next to you, and so that you can remember, and also so that you have something to give them so that they can translate it, right? So just come up with your own alphabet however you want. Take inspiration from anywhere. Now put down a plastic mat just to protect the table just in case, and crack out your awesome quill and ink and write out your message, because I know you have one. If you don't, then you can use a Sharpie, that's fine, but just write out whatever you want. Now just roll it up and grab a piece of twine or ribbon or whatever you want, tie it up, and it's done, and it's ready to throw down in front of your players. An optional step, if you want to make it look really cool, is to burn the edges. The trick here is to just barely light it on fire and then blow it out immediately as soon as it lights. That way it'll just consume a little bit, it won't get out of hand, it won't eat too much of it, and just go all around the edges. Unless, of course, you want an important part of it, like the name, to be burned off to create more mystery about who it's from. And if you really want to go the extra mile, you could even bind it all into a tome like I did. See here? I got some pieces of wood to use the covering. I made a leather backing. Oh, I need to retie that. Oops. But you see, and before you ask, no, that's not a swastika. It's an ancient Basque symbol. It fits with the theme of the quest. Anyways, you can see here I burnt a lot of the pages to make it look like the book was saved out of a library fire or something. I used the same modified Armenian alphabet for this, and yeah, this one I obviously typed. I didn't handwrite it all, but it's all right. You can do whatever you want with it. Just get creative. It's a cool little prop. There you go. Well, thanks for taking the time to watch. Happy questing.